morning, everybody, and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and I'm the hostess of this podcast this week. I'm the hostess every week. I'm the Kim that Naturally Kim's Knitting is talking about. Anyways, this is a podcast all about knitting, dyeing, spinning, doing lots of crafty things with yarn. And I just had a bird hit my window. Makes me sad. They usually bounce right back though. Anyways, I'd like to welcome you. If this is your first time to view this, I really thank you so much. Love you all. And those of you who come back week after week, oh my goodness, you're so special to me. I love you guys too. Big hugs to everybody. Anyways, today is May 10th. Little bit of administration stuff right here. Next week on Wednesday, getting close, well, at this time I will be in the hospital, not in surgery yet, but I will be in the hospital. So I'm going to hopefully record on Tuesday. The week after that, I have to play it by ear. Number one, my grandkids and my daughter and her hubby will all be here. But number two, I'm not sure where I'll be recovery-wise. Whether I do it or not, I'll have a big old brace around my neck. But I might still try to do a short one, just to let you know how I am. Because I've had so many people praying for me. So anyways, I think that's it for the administration stuff. I do. So, should we just get started with what's on my needles? Well, let me tell you. In case you're not really observing right now, ta-da! Milkweed is finished, except for buttons. I have been going back and forth, buttons or no buttons. I mean, I like it with the button. I know you can't see it all. I am going to be putting pictures up, probably in my Blogger and WordPress. I might even put one in Ravelry just because I've been working on this forever. But I like the way it looks closed, but I kind of like the jacket idea. But regardless, I need to take it off now because it is warm in here. If I can get it off. You know, you have long sleeves on, and in this weather, everything just wants to, stay where it was. Now I look kind of bare because I have nothing to cover this solid blue. Oh, well. There's worse things in the world. I'm looking for my first thing. Since my milkweed is done, the first thing to show you is my week's progress on my annual temperature afghan. And I must say, it has been rather a boring time as far as this. I have done how many days straight? We've had about the same temperature range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a whole week of the same temperature range. In fact, it was such that I had to order some more yarn because, yeah, I'm sure we're going to have more in that range. But that's okay. This is my annual temperature afghan, and you can see how long it is. When I get this done, it is going to be so long. It's just going to be amazing. It is based off the 10-stitch Zigzag by Frankie Brown, which is a free pattern in Ravelry. And I made mine out of KnitPicks Wool of the Andes sports yarn. And I do like it, but I like what I'm doing my daughters out of even better. But, that's just, I picked the colors. I just didn't realize what colors I was going to have so much of. Anyways, and then the table where I get the daily temperatures from, that's from weathergan.com. There's links in my Blogger and my WordPress notes. I've not and Ravelry. I haven't quite figured out how to put links in YouTube yet. If anybody knows, let me know, because I really want to do it. Okay, so that's my temperature afghan. Now for my daughter's. I suppose with her here next week, she's going to find out that I'm making this for her, because I don't know that she listens to my podcast. I keep trying to encourage her to, but she doesn't necessarily. Let's see. Gotta figure out which side is which. So, I can't even, I'm not going to count these, but you can see the latest update. I think what I love about this, I love this Marina blue right here. I'm sorry, right here. And I love the fact that it is in the temperature range where that Fort Wayne seemed to have a lot of the year my daughter was born. I love that little light green one right there in the center. But it's fascinating to put this one together. This is from the memory blanket that you can get free at Ravelry. And like I said, I love this yarn. It is so soft. But this is KnitPicks Swish DK. And it's a nice weight for them with their California lifestyle. Since they, you know, they're a little bit warmer there than we are here. But that's okay. It'll take a sip of tea. It's just my standard cinnamon turmeric. It's supposed to help with inflammation. I like to believe that it does. If it doesn't, my mind thinks it does. So, I'm sorry. I just kind of, you know, anybody who's been watching this for a while knows, and anybody who had me as a teacher knows, I will start on a subject, but then something else gets my attention that might be related to this subject, and we'll go off on that for a little bit, but then we come back to what we're doing. The kids used to tell me, yeah, we can get you talking about anything. I said, yeah, but most of the time it is related to what we're doing. You guys just don't realize it. Now, I will tell you a few of these things. I haven't worked on a lot this past week. Obviously, I was working on my Milkweed sweater. And then, even though they've not really given me a due date for my pattern test, since I can't always knit on it, I'm trying to get those done. Courtesy, you know, they've been very nice to me, and so it's just courtesy that I work on those. And those I'm not going to show you because it's to the point where I can't hide the patterns. But this, I can show you. This is my Jayne sock. Hi, Jayne. I know she watches it every week. I send her a link every week. Anyways, that's my Jayne sock made out of my Jayne yarn. And hopefully she'll get this before long. As you can see, I am on the legging right now. And if I were to sit down and work on this, I could probably get to the ribbing part in a day. I just, see, this is something, this is for a friend, and I really want to get it done, because she is such a sweetie. But I'm not sure when it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just not quite sure when. Sorry, Jayne. It is coming. I'll at least have one of them done before I go to the hospital. However, with the pattern, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to concentrate well enough to work on it when I get out of the hospital. You know? That's where blind knitting is nice, because you don't have to watch what you're doing. So anyways, that's my Jayne socks out of my Jayne yarn. I'm using size 1 needles. And it's just a little, I mean, I like the pattern. As I've expressed before, my friend Jayne, she has a very large family. And they come in and out of her lives, as do her friends. But we always seem to come back. And I like to think of this straight line here. This is her walk with Christ. Because she always seems, even though it may be a narrow roadway, she finds her way there. Bless her heart. Now whenever she wears it, she'll see that I hug the yarn. Hopefully my makeup didn't come off on it. She knows I love her. We were supposed to go out to eat on this coming Friday, Jayne and my friend Jenny and Linda, but silly me, who doesn't usually have a lot scheduled, this Friday, they scheduled my echocardiogram and my stress test. And the stress test is at 11:30. Sitting there going, darn! because now we probably won't get a lunch in before the surgery. Oh well. They may just have to come to the hospital and visit me, and we'll just sit and eat lunch there. Okay, so that was that one. Then, other than weaving in the... you guys could probably repeat that with me every time I finish something. Other than weaving in the ends, I do have these all finished. Ta-da! And I still don't care for the yarn. No, the pattern is pretty. I don't care for the way it feels. That's just an individual thing. So if you want to know what that is, you can look on my blog. But I'm not, I don't want to advertise it because I don't like giving out bad reviews. So, yes. So those are going to the soup kitchen. Now, let's see. It's super secret you're not seeing. Oh, chemo cap. Got a new one on the needles. Just put it on the needles yesterday. Same yarn as the, you'll see the finished one in a minute. This is KnitPicks Felici Pinata. Sorry, my dog is hearing a noise. I think my neighbor is mowing and she's woofing. So I'm sorry about that. I know it'll be impossible to keep her quiet. I'm just hoping she doesn't turn into a full-fledged bark. Anyway, so right now I've just got a little purple band and turquoise. And I'll or more teal, I guess. I'll probably be going onto the plain knitting soon. Just a moment. I know what she's going to do. Sorry about that. I am hoping that will do the trick. Can't guarantee anything. Sometimes she just wants to go out there and say hi to our neighbor. She loves our neighbor. Anyway, so I've started it. I've had the purple stripe, and now it's kind of going to like a teal color. And that's the teal color is basically where I started my previous hat at. This one's like the next size bigger. So it's going to be a little bit bigger than the previous one, which you'll see in a few minutes here. But I like the yarn. I really, really do. And it's soft, so I think they'll enjoy it. Ginger, do not bark. In case you haven't guessed, my dog's name is Ginger Snap. Oh no! I have a sock that I started on this needle, and when I pulled the needle out of the bag today, I pulled half the stitches off. I'll do a quick picky up. I'll have to do some corrections in a minute. I know none of you have ever done a quick pick-me-up, huh? I know. Because you guys don't ever drop stitches, do you? I do. No. It's something I do. Anyways. I do not know the correct name of these socks. Neither, I don't think I have it anywhere. Neither do I have the designer of these socks. But they're going to work up into it because I don't have the first page. I didn't really need it, so I didn't print it. Because I know what they'll look like. It's going to look like the face of the kitty cat. This is, from the bottom up a little bit. This is the graph that I'm working from. Mine's going to be white on the bottom and then a darker yarn at the top. If anybody has seen that, or if they've worked it, or they're going to work it, could you please let me know the name of the pattern and who designed it? Because I really like to give credit where credit's due. And I can't wait to make these. I'm making this pair for myself. I was going to make it for my granddaughter, but I want to make sure I'm going to like it really well first. And this yarn is really soft. So I've got it down as kitty cat socks, but I don't know its proper name. And it is from KnitPicks Stroll Fingering. Yeah. Very soft. I'm going to love wearing these. Unless I end up giving them away. You never know. I'm not planning on giving them away, but how many socks should I keep in my sock drawer? I just don't know. Sorry. One more thing that I just started a couple nights ago. I've had to restart because I wasn't happy with it. But this is some of my homespun yarn. This is what it looks like, only it is more variegated than that. And I decided with my homespun, I'm going to make some scarves. So this is just the very beginning of the scarf. And it's either going to be a scarf or a cowl. I haven't truly decided yet. But, I mean, if it's a cowl, I'm just going to do a 3-needle bind off at the end and join the two sides together. But I like it. It's pretty. The stitch is not hard. Oh, no. I know where it's at in the book, thank goodness. Because I just dropped my notepad. It is out of Flowers and Leaves, 70 Stitch Patterns You'll Love to Knit. By, I don't know. But that's the cover of the book. If I can get it without a glare. Okay. This one right here is the one that I'm doing the scarf in. Leaves of Grass. So, anyways, yes, I like it. And in the past, I've always just done socks for the soup kitchen. And our church does this, it's called Spread the Bread. Spread the bread, spread the thread. And I was thinking, you know, even if I don't give them to the soup kitchen, I could give them to the Spread the Thread for many families to have. Or I'll make them as gifts for my family members. Lots of choices. I do like making things for others, as you can tell. Anyway, so that is my little scarf that I'm making out of my homespun. Yay. And that's everything that is on my needles. That's a lot. Not as many as I've had in the past, but still, with the surgery coming up, that's a lot. So let me show you some finished objects. Well, you saw the milkweed. Ta-da! I could pull it out. I left it on the chair behind me. Anyways, for those of you who do not remember, this is the beautiful, beautiful back. With, I love this collar. The collar just kind of drapes along. And then I do have ends that I need to put in yet, but there is the one of the fronts and the cable down the sleeve. Try to get the other front. And there's the other front. I need to secure the buttonholes too. But I don't have buttons yet. So. And the cable down the, oops, you can't see the cable down the other sleeve. And the cable down the other sleeve. I love this. It is so worth all the time that I have put into it. I love it. It's taken me a couple years because I hibernated it. I brought it back out. I had to work on the fisherman's sweaters for the men in my family, you know, all kinds of things, but it is finished. I showed you the one pair of socks that I finished. I did not show you. This is kind of like a preemie chemo cap. It could be either. It does stretch. Beautiful stretchy yarn. But it's just a very, very small one. So it's actually more of a preemie cap than it is a chemo cap. But it could be used for either. So, as you can see, this is the teal, which is where I am on the hat I'm making now, a little bit bigger. So these are the colors that I will be going through. So, yay. So that's last year I was able to make a hat a week. This year I kind of put it on hold until a couple weeks ago. And I'm trying to get myself back into the groove again of a hat a week, but I'm not really making it yet. I haven't decided. I could take chemo caps with me to the hospital, or I could take a sock that's just blind knitting. I just don't know yet. So that's everything that I have finished. So you've seen all my knitting that I've done. I want to go on and, well, I think right here what I'm going to do is talk about the knit or the craft alongs I have going on, because they are still knitting related. Those of you who watch regularly know I have 2 craft alongs going on. The one is a crafting for children or babies, and it goes into, there is a thread on Ravelry where you put your finished objects along with a little, if you want to put a little description you can, but at least put a link to the pattern or a pattern name there so we know where you got it from. And it runs from April 1st through May 31st on the morning of June 1st, if I remember, because I will still be recovering. But if I remember, on June 1st, when I wake up, I will come over and I will lock that thread. I have to laugh. Because when May 1st, well, actually, it was like May 3rd, I woke up that morning and I went, oh, I didn't lock the thread. Well, you have a whole nother month. Anyways, to enter this, your object can be knit, crocheted, woven, sewn, dyed, whatever, as long as it's done for a child or a baby. So, for example, talking about something you dye, I dyed this yarn, or baby or child. I dyed this yarn, and it is, one skein of it was for my granddaughter's sweater, and the other was going to be for my grandson's, along with this green variegated yarn. So the yellow really looks washed out on there. Not gonna, it's just not gonna show it as bright. This is really like a sunshine yellow. Tells you how washed out colors are, because this is a brilliant yellow. Anyways, it's going to go with that green. So, you know, I could, if I were going to enter my own contest, I could put a picture of that in, because it's for a child. It's for my grandchild. If it were open for you guys to see, I could put in the sweater that I'm making for my granddaughter, but it's not finished yet. You know, lots of things that you can do. If you wanted to sew something for a child or a baby, you could do that. As far as as long as it's crafty and it's for a child or a baby, you cannot have started it before April 1st, though. And yes, you may put it in as many other craft alongs as you want, as long as it follows everybody's rules. Now, prizes. The first prize for this will be a yarn of my Napier's Knits yarn, which, if you wanted to see what I have, you can go to the Ravelry page where I put down the yarns that are still available, or you can go to my Etsy page, Napier's Knits, and you can see what I have available. So that's the first prize. Then for every 10 entries I have after that, I have, oh my goodness, I put them somewhere last week. I meant to leave them on my desk. I know where they're at, but it's not easy to get to. Miss Betsy made some beautiful double point needle holders. So for every 10 after that, after the first 10, one of these will go. And there's 2 designs. This is a butterfly design with a beautiful pink butterfly pattern inside. You really can't see the design. Sorry. This one is a beautiful floral with a gorgeous orange with flowers in it inside. And they have snaps to help keep your double points in place. So for entry 10 through 20, let's say, one of these. For 20 through 30, it would be one of these. And if I would have to have over 30, then it would be a pattern from Ravelry. So, anyways, I'm sorry. I was just thinking of something in my mind when I was saying this. Okay, let's see. And if any of you out there would ever like to donate a prize to either, to anything, to this podcast, just let me know. I'll give you my mailing address, and you can mail it right out to me, and I'd be glad to put it in a drawing. So anyways, whenever you complete an item, just start a post in Ravelry thread under knitting for children or babies, or crafting for children or babies, and put a picture of your finished object and the pattern name if there is one. You do need to be a member of Naturally Kim's Knitting Podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate, but that is so easy to do. You just go to that page and you push join, and you can be a part of the group, and you can enter any of the craft alongs that I do there. Okay, and like I said before, it will be locked on the morning of June 1st, and the winners will be drawn on that week's podcast. Well, actually before the podcast, because I use random number generator, and it's not always easy for me to switch back and forth between screens. And for any craft alongs I ever do, or giveaways, the winners have one, do I say 1 week or 2 weeks? 2 weeks. I thought 1 week didn't sound like long enough. 2 weeks from the date of the announcement to claim their prize. If they've not claimed it by the end of that 2 weeks, it will go back into the prize bin and go for the next knit along or craft along. Now, in addition to the knitting for babies or children, I also have an annual temperature craft along, and that got the idea from my afghan I'm making. And for that, it goes through January 8th of 2018. Getting my years mixed up. It could be knit, crocheted, sewn, woven, whatever, as long as it reflects the daily temperature change throughout a year. It could not have been started before January 1st, 2017, but that would have been hard to do if you're doing this year. It doesn't have to be from this year. Like I said, I'm doing an afghan for my daughter, and it's based off of the first year she was born, 1983 through 1984. So, yes, I could have entered that if I was eligible. I'm not eligible because I own the thingy. Okay, and as with the other one, you may poly dip as long as it follows everybody's rules. And please post the items that you're making. I would love to see progress photos, because I do know a couple of you are working on projects. If you haven't started, I would love to see where you are. Just post a picture of it under the Ravelry thread for the annual temperature craft along. I would love to see where you guys are. Let's see. Everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah. So I'd love to see. I love seeing what you guys make anyways. You guys are the most creative, most talented people. I just love watching them. So let's see. What have I been reading? Oh, I have got 3 books that I reviewed this week and an Audible book. But to start things off, as I talk about every week, my daughter has a blog called Beyond the Schoolyard. And on there she talks about the educational activities as she does with her children. Well, this week's was reviewing the past year, and I tell you, it's amazing to think of the things that Tobias and Genevieve have learned over the past year. It is just amazing. But she also talks about favorite things that they've acquired, that they've done, or they've read. So I did put a link to it. I encourage you guys to go look at it. I mean, if you have a love for children, I would think you would enjoy it. I love it, but it's my grandchildren, so you know. Anyways, I've read 3 fictional, well, 1 semi-fictional, I would say, but book reviews for any books that I've reviewed. If you click on the words book review in my blog or Ravelry or WordPress, it will take you to the book review itself. If you click the name of the title, it will take you to a link in Amazon where you can purchase the book. So, Lift and Separate, oh, it was a sweet book. It was a husband owned this lingerie company. And so, when you hear Lift and Separate, in fact, if you do a search for it, it will take you to bras first. But anyways, the husband comes home one day and announces to his wife that he's leaving her. He was having an affair with one of the models. And it goes through what she has been going through, trying to come to terms with it. And it could have been a thoroughly depressing book, but they make it humorous. It was cute. Then I read Rosalia's, I'm thinking that's how you say it, Rosalia's Bittersweet Pastry Shop. That was cute. It's all based around a pastry shop, a pastry business, which is run by a convent. And this lady comes to interview them and to taste the world's most delightful baked goods. And it's the whole story, the background behind this shop. And it's good. Of course, there's recipes. There has to be recipes if it has pastries in the title. Cute book, too. I've not read anything that hasn't been good this week, which is wonderful. I also read the Saturday Evening Girls Club, and it talks about, I'm going to get wrong their backgrounds, but they're 4 immigrant girls, and they each have different plans when they come to America, but they come together in the Saturday Evening Girls Club, and there they find support for each other, and they give support to others, and it is a semi-true story. Some of the characters in there were the originators of the Saturday Evening Girls Club, and it is just an uplifting book. It just made my heart sing. Then my very favorite author, Alana Terry. She has a series of books called oh my goodness, I'm going to get it wrong, Kennedy Stern Christian suspense books. Anyways, I have read these books out of order. I just have. It's whichever one I've come across first is the one I read. But I don't think it matters. Alana Terry was able to keep me up, even though I started with like book 3 or 4. She's been able to keep me up, even in that first book that I read. And Unplanned, it was the first book in the series. And it was so good. Each one basically centers around a theme. And this one is centered around abortion. Now, my personal opinion is it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on with it, because she approaches it so that it helps you to see what the other side might be thinking. It's really good. In fact, if you were to get that on a Kindle, it is free right now. Okay, a couple other things that I did want to show you that I don't know why I didn't. You know, when I order things from KnitPicks, I can't help getting things. I got some Chroma. I love the Chroma Twist. And I didn't know what it was the last time when I made something from it. But of course, this is purple. And it's called Avalon, which is another reason I like it. But I love purple. And it's Avalon, which I love. The whole King Arthur story. And it's from KnitPicks, which I am an affiliate with. What that means is if you click on anything that refers to KnitPicks in my blog, it will take you to the KnitPicks page, and it doesn't cost you more, but they're able to give me a couple pennies from your order, which I'm then going, once that really gets up and running, I'm going to start turning that around, and I will get things for you guys from KnitPicks. So, and then anything that you would purchase from a link from Amazon, I have a few pennies from that comes to me too. So I got that this week. Then I with the KnitPicks, before I go on to that, from KnitPicks, I've got this book, Sunday Morning. These patterns, I don't think there's any in there I don't like. So in addition to showing you the cover, I'm going to show you the patterns because I love them. This is called Caddington Wrap. Let me see which picture first. I love that. I love the way it drapes. And of course they have recommendations for KnitPicks yarns that you can use. But in the back they show you the different kinds of yarn and the weight of the yarn. So anyways, that one is made out of KnitPicks Capretta, which is merino, wool, and nylon. I could make that for my daughter, or for myself, or both. Anyways, and it does have a graft in it, and I've never had issues with KnitPicks directions. Always been easy to follow. Then they have one called Cabri shell. Ooh, get the glare off. The front of it is plain. Then the back of it has that beautiful cable design. Then, oh, there's the back of it. With kind of like cap sleeves on it. Then there's a tank, which I'm not see, this isn't quite my style because it is an open lace work down the front and down the side. And that's not quite me. So that might be one pattern I do not make out of this. Then, oh, this one's gorgeous. It's called Aerial U-Top. Okay. You get a hint of the work, of the special work on there. Then you get the side view. Ooh, can't get the glare away. Hoping you're being able to see that. Anyways, let's see what else is in here. Oh, heartbeat sweater. They have these little lacy hearts down the front. You can't really see them there, but I need to put a link for this in my KnitPicks, or for KnitPicks in my book reviews, because I haven't done that yet. Then this is called, like I said, other than that one tank top, I think I want to make everything out of here. The Abella pullover. Oops. Which this reminds me, there is the thread to help me decide which craft along to do next is still open, whether you want to work with beads or whether you want to work a pattern from a book. I even like the back of that sweater. I like the slit. So, let's see, oh yeah. Now this tank, I like. It's very plain, but you know what? There are times when you need a plain tank top, and even though it's plain, the sides aren't. And I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is called, I don't know how to say it, I'm guessing, Patal pullover. It's a loose top. I like loose tops. I like the neckline. So like I said, KnitPicks did it again. Then, I'd forgotten that I was getting these to review, but I'm very happy that I am. I have from Dover Press an Alice in Wonderland Designs coloring book. I haven't put a review in yet, but of course the pictures are all Alice in Wonderland. So that's cool. This is going to be a prize in a future, this next one, in a future craft along. It's called Crochet Stories for the Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Now, since I don't crochet, it's silly for me to keep this for myself. But I will be giving it away in a future one. But it has a pattern for, who are they? Maybe that's, well, that's Dorothy and Toto. And I'm assuming that's Glinda the Good Witch. Oh, that's when she's home again. Okay, so there's Dorothy. And I can't remember their names. Been a while since I've watched The Wizard of Oz, I guess. I don't think my grandchildren are quite ready for it. They would be a little scared. Then there's the water bucket. They have the water bucket. That is cool. I like that. I wish I crocheted. They have the winged monkey. Oh, I hated the winged monkeys. They gave me nightmares. They truly did. Let's see. Golden cap. I don't remember a golden cap. I don't. The Wicked Witch of the West. I won't have to put a review in. I will. But, oh, that must be the wizard. Anyways, I was going to say I wouldn't have to because I'm reviewing it right now. Very cool. Oh, the Emerald City Spectacles. Oh, those are cute. My granddaughter would love these, even if she's not seen it. Poppy. I'm doing this from back to front, you can tell. The Cowardly Lion. My granddaughter would love these, but I know I can't do it. The Tin Man. Wonder who's next. Oh, he is cute. I admire people who are able to do this. They say the yellow... Oh my goodness, they have the Yellow Brick Road. Oh, I love this book. I wish I could crochet. There's the house. And there's the witch's feet. Oh, how cool. Oh, a munchkin. There's a munchkin. We welcome you to the Lollipop Hill. And who is this? Oh, Uncle Henry. That was his name, Uncle Henry. I couldn't remember his name. And Auntie M is just beautiful. So, like I said, this will be going into a drawing in the future. But they say okay, they don't have a picture of the cyclone. They say, how do you crochet a cyclone? I thought, well, actually, I could figure it out when I used to crochet. Then, from Tyndale Publishing, I haven't even looked at this. It's supposed to be like the Where's Waldo books. Bible Sleuth, the New Testament. I think this is going to go to my granddaughter. But each page, they introduce young readers to stories about Jesus and the early church while engaging children in a seek and find activity. So, I'm not sure if you're looking for the same thing on every page. Well, I'll be reviewing this one later. Then, I don't know how this happened. I am just so tickled. Bethany House. They offer books every month. Fiction. They send 2 mailings, fiction and nonfiction. And usually, if it is a popular author like Beverly Lewis or D. Henderson, you're very blessed if you end up with it. I have a D. Henderson book, Threads of Suspicion. I'm taking this to the hospital with me on Friday. Because they told me that I've never had a stress test. I don't know. But I said, can I read a book? They said, well, yeah, you can bring a book. And I said, well, if I can't read it, no big deal. But if I can read it, yay. So this is going to the hospital. Threads of Suspicion. An Evie Blackwell cold case. And I've not read Evie Blackwell. But I love D. Henderson. And then my last book that I received was from, it was called English Lessons. And a lot of times when I finish a book, since I get so many books, I will put read books into paperback swap. I can't do that with this one. So I might be giving this one away. But it's called English Lessons. The Crooked Little Grace-Filled Path of Growing Up by Andrea. And I love Max Lucado, but I don't know how to say his name. Well, she's inherited his gift of writing to the heart. I've only read the first chapter, which was Field Crickets. She has a gift. It was passed down in her genes. I love Max Lucado books, and if she writes more, I'll probably love them as well. I just started this, and I bet my next week I'll have it done and reviewed. This, who is this from? I thought it was Bethany House, but it's not. I've got to find, oh, Waterbrook. I've got to find out who that's from. I can't put a review up. Anyway, so those books all came on the same day. My mailman, I wasn't expecting anything. He knocked at the door and went, and I saw, oh, my eyes get real big when it's books. Books! So, that's me. I'm a little, oh my goodness, it's going 45 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. I get into books or knitting, and you know, I talk on. So let me tell you where you can find me, all my places you can find me. You can find me as Napier's Knits on Ravelry. You can find Etsy, same thing. Naturally Kim's Knitting, I have the Ravelry group for the podcast. And I'm on YouTube, Blogger, Facebook, and WordPress as Naturally Kim's Knitting. Instagram, I really want to see if I can change it, but right now it's knittin_Kim. And I think that's it. I did them out of order today, so I have to check. I think that's it. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great, great week. I will be talking to you a day early next week. But you can watch it at your leisure. It doesn't matter, because once it's out there, that's fine. But if you pray, please pray for me on Wednesday, because I really would appreciate those prayers next week. Anyways, I love you all. I hope you have a very productive week of knitting with very few, if any, mistakes. Big hugs to each one of you. Love you. Bye-bye.